Hey everybody, how y'all doing out there? What are we doing today? We are, as per the request of one of my fans on the on YouTube, someone asked me to do a teapot from beginning to end. So hopefully what I can do is find the time in the next couple of days to really get all of those videos done. I'm gonna start today with the body of the teapot. I'm gonna skip the whole centering thing. I think I have quite a few videos about centering, plenty of them. So I want to sort of rush through that part because there's no reason for you guys to be sitting there watching me for 25 minutes. Then you fast forward and you don't, you skip the part that you care about. So this is 5 pounds of clay. What makes a good teapot? Well, personal teapot I think can go for 3. Depending on your shape, you know, if you're going to do something round or you want a foot, the foot is always so important. As you get bigger, you need to add more and more clay to accommodate for the foot because in between that foot ring is a lot of clay. So if you're doing 1 pound, you give a half a pound for a foot. If you're going to 2 pounds, maybe you want to add 3/4 of a pound. Although that gets wasted in the center of the foot when you trim it, it's still super important to account for that. So that means that if you're going to do like a 6-pound bowl, you want to add at least a pound for that foot, depending on what type of bowl you do. So I'm going to kind of keep this no foot. I'm just thinking simple, traditional round teapot. So I've got myself 5 pounds. And we'll see what we can do at that point. Now, what is the key to a teapot and or a lidded pot? Well, special tool. We call this the fancy wood tool. This is a little bigger. The Kemper has actually made it a little bigger than it used to be. This is about 3/4 of an inch. I liked it better when it was about a 1/2 inch. But, you know, since the company has been sold and all of that. So if you know anyone at Kemper, we like the older one better. This is going to create our gallery. This is the gallery where the lid sits in. Now, there are a lot of different ways to make lidded pots, but I believe what's super important for a teapot is that the lid locks in. You're going to be pouring. Doesn't make a difference with a sugar bowl. Doesn't make a difference with a lidded anything, but a teapot, you're pouring. So I really like to have the gallery and the flange. So the flange is the hanging part, which we'll get to when we get to lids. But this to me is the best tool. So I'm gonna go down, 2 thumbs, stems of thumbs, elbows on my thighs, 2 hands wrapped around, no foot. So no foot means that I'm gonna give myself about a 1/2 inch of clay. Why a 1/2 inch? Because I'm constantly gonna wipe out the inside. Now I want my pot to be sort of sexy. So I don't want to open up my floor really wide. Otherwise it's going to be sort of a teapot that does that. So I want her to be round, sort of moon jarry. So I'm going to go ahead and open up about 3 inches. Remember, hands towards palm. If you do just your hands and nothing in the background, it may throw it off. Elbows down on my thighs when I compress my floor. I'm just going to throw in some of the regular things that I tell all you guys all the time. Now, a teapot also should have a smaller hole than, you know, a sugar jar. So we want to throw our pot towards the center. We want that clay to know that it's not going to end up wide, it's going to end up narrow. If you go too wide, then when you go to compress it to make it thinner, it could get that ripple that happens. So if you'll notice what I'm doing is I'm sort of insinuating that shape going up, but I still need those walls to be thin enough. My glasses fell on my head. You guys can't see that. Hopefully I'll cut my head off of this until I get here and then I loosen up. I need my lip to be thick enough to create that wall that sits around that lid and create the gallery. So we always want to make sure, slow down at the bottom, scoop up. Now remember, we don't want to make her round until her walls are thinner. I just made the teapot a girl. Compress that lid. So what my lip is actually doing is it's shaped like this. Does that make sense? So it's like this up on the top. Get down here again, slow down a little, start to really get that clay so I'm not wasting it. I'm not making it round yet. I'm just insinuating that it's going to be round by putting a little bit more pressure on my inside hand and pushing towards that hand. So she's kind of, looks like she's gonna be round. Now I wanna kind of tell that clay that it's gonna be narrow. Lots of water, hands attached, finger guns, thumbs, knuckles to knuckles, and fingertips. Start at the bottom, super fast. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure, super pressure. Do that again, get underneath there so that the clay knows it's gonna be narrow, and then my fingers close up and come up off the top. And now my lip is a little thicker, but so are my walls because I compressed and I collared. So I wanna go in here and thin them out just a little bit. Maybe tell the clay that I want her to be round. Here it's gonna be a lot thicker because that's where I collared, so I can get a little bit more height out of there. Then maybe I'll give myself a real nice place for that lid to sit. Now you're going, oh my God, that's a giant teapot. Truth is, it's not. Remember guys, we shrink. Everything shrinks. We think we make this giant pot and then all of a sudden it's an espresso cup. Okay, so the other thing that I enjoy besides my fancy wood tool is this silly little piece of metal right here. So this silly little piece of metal that comes in your basic cheap Temu or Amazon set does so much. Wait till you see. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna collar in my top a little bit because it's a little way. You can notice I'm throwing water on the outside. I very rarely put water on my clay except to collar. I want my fingers to sort of glide on past that. I just wanna close that up a little bit. It's getting a little wide for me. So now what I wanna do is I'm gonna take this special cool aluminum thingy right here and I'm gonna curve it. I'm gonna curl it. So you wanna make sure you get the cheap one that is soft. Now I'm gonna draw what I want the pot to look like with just 1 inch of this. And when I draw it, what I'm doing is I'm putting it a little bit away from the wall and I'm gonna take my inside hand, I'm gonna push into it. So let's see if you see what I'm saying. I'm gonna start down here. Start to stretch it. So my tool is a little bit farther away from the pot. And now I've adjusted my hold on that tool so that I can sort of curve that. And it does take off a little bit, but what it does, it gets me a smooth wall and it allows me to create a more fluid shape. Just gonna lift this up a little bit. I felt like I may have made that look a little more droopy than I wanted it to be. Now I'm doing that little micro thing where I use my finger to sort of do small edits to the shape until I get up here where I've got enough space, enough clay to create that gallery. Okay, I'm gonna get the water out of the inside of my pot. You can do that with a sponge or a sponge on a stick. And I'm gonna go ahead and sort of make that thicker. And again, if you don't like my little finger marks, you can go in here. Notice my elbow is down on my thigh. And I'm just gonna make sure you have that tool angled away from you. So what that means is that the tip of it is away from you. That sounds weird to say away from you. And what I mean by that, I'm just gonna fix that neck. Now, as you're making a shape for a teapot, you wanna kind of think about where you're gonna want that spout. Do I want that spout up here? Am I gonna have it up here? To be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea. I have not made that decision yet, so bad on me. Practice what you preach. Get the water out of the inside. If I push a little more to get it rounder, that's fine, because what's gonna happen at the bottom, I'm gonna do a little bit of trimming. So we're gonna get rid of that and we're gonna expose her roundness. So what you can see here is that it's thick enough here for me to be able to create that gallery. It's thicker than my walls, so that's gonna help me sort of allow myself to have enough clay so that I can create a strong enough gallery with a wall that surrounds that lid, because that wall that surrounds the lid has to stop it from moving. Okay, so I've just set up this little thing here, and I'm hoping that it helps for you to see what I am doing. Okay, so here's my fancy wood tool. You can see it a little closer. It's got this sort of flat edge, but what I love about it is that it's curved, so I can hold it like a pencil. I want to hold it close to the tip of it, and this way I have control to just sort of pivot my fingers forward. So my elbows are down on my thighs and my index finger of my left hand is curved. And we want to make sure that it's a right angle. So it's kind of curved like that. I kind of compare this to an elevator. So I'm going to be pushing down on the clay. It's going to hit this finger, and then this finger is going to support it as I go down even lower. The depth of your gallery is a huge deal. If your gallery is not deep enough, then why even have it? Your lid can just come off. But again, for a teapot, super important for it to be really deep. So when you tip it, sure, you're gonna hold the top of it, but it's also gonna hold it and lock it in. So my wheel's going relatively quick. My finger's underneath. I'm gonna choose halfway through. So you can see where I just chose. That's gonna make it so that this part that sticks out is strong enough to hold the lid. And also if I put it upside down to trim it, it won't chip until I go straight down. So what I've done is I've gone down and then both of it went down. And you can see that I've got myself a good 1/2 inch. That's gonna be a great height for me to hold my pot, hold the lid. Now what happens here is that this gets a little thin. So the same way, we're gonna go ahead and compress this to make it thicker. We're also gonna go ahead and compress the side of this with the side of my finger. So I'm not pinching because I don't make it thinner. I'm just gently holding on to it. And I am pushing that in. Now, what's also important about this part up here being thicker is that this is the part, if it's thin, it may shrink at a different level than this and everything else. So that's gonna make it where your lid fits before it gets fired, and then it doesn't fit after it's been fired. The other important part is this sort of right angle inside here. That right angle means that my lid is gonna have a right angle and it should fit in there pretty well. Now, sometimes when you do that push, you might mess up your shape a little bit. So I'm just gonna go in here and sort of fix that. And then go in with my little thing here, because I'm thinking I want this to be a little bit of a smoother surface, especially if you guys know I like to carve things. So because I like to carve things, a smoother surface actually works better, which is silly. I'll go in there with a sponge and a stick, and hopefully you can see what we need to do here. Okay, so what I want to talk about is measuring for the lid. So because we're making a lid with a flange that fits in a gallery, this is when math comes in. Now you're gonna find that a lot of people use calipers, and what those are is those pinchers that sort of fold this way. I don't like those. I'm not against them. If you're good at it, you're good at it, but I am not. So I am good at a good old-fashioned ruler. The only thing that's not old-fashioned is that I'm gonna use centimeters instead of inches. You're gonna get a much smaller measurement that way and a little bit more precise. Now the measurements that I care about for this is the inside of that lip, for the outside of my lid, and the inside of my gallery. So I'm gonna go in here, elbows close to my body. I'm gonna measure, and I'm gonna get as exact as possible. So I'm gonna say 11 centimeters from inside here to inside here. And usually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty consistent with my galleries. So I'm gonna tell you that my inside here is always 2 centimeters less. And that's because of where I use this tool. You can see that I use a centimeter of it. So I know that that's always gonna be, but again, that's just because I've been doing this for, 120 years. But the inside from here to here is 9 centimeters. So those are the things we have to remember: 11 centimeters and 9 centimeters.